In this video, we are going to be creating a funnel chart. In this video, we're going to be creating a funnel chart. This is video number 6 of a 16 video series that I am creating for Power of the BI Live, which will be a live in-session event where I will be teaching Power BI live for 2 days in Dallas, Texas at the Omni Hotel. Anyway, this is video number 16. We are going to be learning how to create a funnel chart, and the data set that we're going to be using to create the funnel chart is cryptocurrency. As a matter of fact, this is actually going to see the first 5 visuals that we used in this particular report, because this will be a report that we will be using and creating in Power of the BI Live in Dallas. So before I go very much further, what I want you to know is a little bit about Power of the BI Live. Power of the BI Live is going to be a 16. Power of the BI Live is going to be a 2-day event live in Dallas, Texas, May 1st and May 2nd at the Omni Hotel. If you're interested in participating in Power of the BI Live, I suggest that you at least go over now and reserve your room at the Omni Hotel. I don't get any credit for the Omni Hotel. I don't make any money off the Omni Hotel. What I do know is that the FIFA World Cup is going to be in Dallas around the same time, and they're actually renting out the convention center, which is connected to the Omni Hotel right now, which is turned into an international site. So what I do know is that there's going to be a lot of activity moving around the Omni Hotel around that time. So I'm suggesting that you go ahead and get your rooms just in case you're thinking that you want to come. If you decided you don't want to attend Power of the BI Live, at least you can cancel your rooms. But if you're interested in saying, hey, I know I want to participate in Power of the BI Live, you can go to my website, powerofthebi.com, go up to courses and select Power BI Live Dallas, and you will get all the information there. Or you can go to my website, powerofthebi.com, scroll down to the middle of the page, got a little image icon there, click the image, and it will take you to the information section as well when it comes and gives you all the information when it comes to Power of the BI Live in Dallas, May 1st and 2nd at the Omni Hotel. But again, we are going to jump right in, and we are going to take a look at the Power BI report. And the Power BI report that we're creating, again, the data set that we're using is a cryptocurrency data set. I am not by any means, any way trying to tell you what is the best cryptocurrency out there to use. I am not trying to give you any advice on buying or selling cryptocurrencies or any other types of stock. I like using cryptocurrency stock and sports data, baseball, football, basketball, soccer. I like using that type of data because it's I like using that type of data to teach Power BI because it is numerical data, and it allows me to be able to teach you a lot of different ways to manipulate the data, understand the data, and then understand what the actual result is you're looking for at the end, because you pretty much have some idea of different types of sports and or stock or cryptocurrency information. Now, before we get started, so here's the deal. I have created a YouTube thumbnail, and if you are already into Bitcoin and you like what we are putting out here, and you want to encourage that I continue to build out cryptocurrency data and information, stuff like that, using Power BI reports so that you can analyze your coins, whether it be Bitcoin or whether it be any other type of cryptocurrency. If you're off into Bitcoin, you can scan the QR code and you can make a generous donation. $1, $2, $5, $10, and if you feel so inclined, you can do $1,000 in cryptocurrency. Only cryptocurrency, no USDs, only cryptocurrencies at this time. So with that said, let's get the moving. We are going to be looking at the Power BI report that we've been building out for the last 5 videos. This is video number 6. We've been building out for the last 5 videos. This is video number 6 of a 16 video series. We are going to be using this exact same report to place into our Power BI portfolios at Power of the BI Live in Dallas in May. The reason why I'm doing it live right now, is so that I can get some feedback from you as individuals interested in participating in Power of the BI Live, or just individuals interested in learning Power BI and seeing what your questions are, so that I'll be able to answer those questions before we get started at Power of the BI Live in Dallas, right? So if you got questions, you got statements, you got comments you want to make, put your comments put the comments in the message in the chat. If you're on Zoom, if you're on YouTube, put your comments in. If you're on Instagram and Facebook, you can leave comments as well. Or if you want to be private about your comments, but you want to get your questions answered, you can DM me as well in all of those media. So we are live here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and that's it. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. For those that are out there in the Instagram land, Facebook land, if you're interested in following along, you can download. Well, you can download Power BI Desktop. You come on over to YouTube, and you can build out this report as well. Now, if you want to know where the data set comes from, it's in the previous video. It's the same data set that we're going to be using throughout the 16 video series. So we have consistent data. But in the previous video, you can find the data set. And in the previous video, you can also find out how to download Power BI Desktop. But we are going to keep moving. What I've done before is I've talked about the different visualization panes in Power BI, and I am trying to see the screen just a little bit bigger. I've talked about the different visualization panes in Power BI. I'm going to move myself around just a little bit. So we've got three primary three primary panes on a Power BI report. One is the filter pane, and we will be looking at working with the filter pane here in just a little bit. The next one is the visualization pane. And of course, we will be working with the visualization pane. And then there's the data pane, where the data set, the data actually resides that we are going to be using for this particular report. Now, what I want to talk about first is the visualization pane. In the visualization pane, there are several different custom visuals that are already provided by Microsoft. So if you did not know, Power BI is a Microsoft product. Power BI is a Microsoft product, just like PowerPoint, Excel, and Word, but it's more so geared towards the commercial use. Power BI Desktop is totally free. Again, I'll repeat that. Power BI Desktop is totally free. Unlike the other Power BI Microsoft products that I named, where you have to pay for those products, Power BI is totally free. Now, I've got my own theories on why it's totally free. You can check out a couple of other videos, previous videos, and I've got my own ideas as to why. But here's the deal: I don't work for Microsoft. This particular video is not sponsored by Microsoft. Mr. Microsoft, if you're out there and you want to sponsor this video, you want to sponsor Power of the BI, we are totally open to that. However, Power BI is my product of choice when it comes to business intelligence. Now, there are several different visuals that we use when we create it. There are several different standard video visuals that we use when we build Power BI reports. When I say a visual is just an image. It's the image that we place in the report, right? Anything that we can see on the report, whether it be a text image, whether it be a pie chart, a column chart, bar chart, whatever the case may be, whenever we place an image, the image is a visual, and a visual is, of course, something that you can see. We are going in a previous video. I spoke with you and I went through and I showed you I showed you the different visuals that you can choose on the first row of the visualizations pane. So on the first row of the visualization pane, we looked at the what's this here? We have the 100% stacked column chart. We have the 100% stacked bar chart. We have the 100%. We have the clustered column chart. We have the clustered bar chart, we have the stacked column chart, and we have the stacked bar chart all on the first row. Those are all visuals that we can select from when it comes to the first row of the visualization pane of a Power BI report. Then on the second row, we have the line and clustered column chart, which is what I like to call a combo chart, because we can have two different types of visuals, a line and a column chart. And we also have a line and a stacked column chart. Then we have the 100% stacked area chart, we have the stacked area chart, and we have the area chart here along with the line chart, all on the second row. Those are all the visuals that we can select on the second row of the visualizations pane as of the day of this recording. The next row, the third row, we have the donut chart, and you have the donut chart. Then we have the pie chart. And of course, in the last video, we went through the building out the pie chart. Then we have the scatter chart. We have the funnel chart on the third row, which is going to be, again, the chart that we're going to use, that we're going to build out in this particular video. And here we have the waterfall chart, and we have the ribbon chart on the third row. Now, what I am going to do, I'm going to move myself around. I am going to create another page, because what we are going to do is we're going to go down to the fourth row, and I am going to bring in, I just want to show you the other visuals. The reason why I want to create a whole separate page and show you these visuals is because we're not going to be building out these visuals, but I want to go through and make sure that I'm showing you all the different visuals that are available on a Power BI, within a Power BI report. So here we have the tree map, and unlike the other visuals that we just saw on the previous page, these visuals are going to be in grayscale. The reason why they're in grayscale, because we don't have any data in them. When we place data inside of these visuals, then they will no longer be in grayscale, and we will be able to format them into different colors and things like that. So, but right now they're only going to be in grayscale, and we'll see when we bring in the funnel chart that it will be in grayscale initially, and then we place in data, then it's going to be it's going to format, it's going to be formatted, have some colors, have some color to it, but it's not going to have the final custom color that we're going to be using as we, or final custom color that we're going to be using to finalize the report. But so we've got the tree map, we've got the map visual. This is the general map. And I'm not going to go too deep into the map, but this is one of the maps that's available within Power BI. Then we have the field map. Now remember, if we have a visual selected and then we select another visual, that automatically changes the visual that we have selected to that visual that we have just selected. So I made a mistake. I kept the selection down when I had the map selected, then I selected the field map, and then it turned into a field map. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it back into the map visual. I'm going to click outside into the white area. Then I'm going to select the field map, and then the field map is going to show, which looks somewhat like the map visual, but you know, it's just what the map looks like when it's in before you put any data in. Actually, these two maps are totally different. They really are totally different. Now, the next map I'm going to use is the shape. What I'm going to bring in is the shape map. The shape map and the field map are very, very, very similar. However, I'm not going to go too deep into it. The shape map is actually my favorite map. When we build out a shape map, you'll get an understanding as to why. But we probably won't build out a map in this particular report, because in this particular report is not about locations and things like that. But this is the shape map again, which is one of my favorite visuals. Here we have the Azure map. The Azure map is probably the most dynamic of all the maps. And of course, the Azure map is, the Microsoft map, because Microsoft Azure is a Microsoft product. But it's probably the most dynamic map. The thing about the Azure map, thing about maps in general, but definitely about the Azure map, is that, you've just got to be careful as to how you place data in the Azure map. If you're working for a company and you're using the Azure map, you may want to be a little bit careful, because mapping could be, there could be some security, there's some security concerns when it comes to placing data inside of the maps. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but that's just what that is. Now, just make sure I get a little bit more volume here, and go back to my big, it just happened. I don't know what that was about. So back at my big screen, and I'm going back to my multi-view. Now, the next, back over here in the report, before we build out the Power BI report, build out the funnel chart, just to recap of what we have here in the visuals. So we have in the previous video, we had one of these five visuals that we're looking at here, and currently we are looking. You're not looking at anything because I'm not sharing my screen. I'm not sharing my screen. I'm not sharing my screen. So you're not looking at anything. Let me share my screen. There we go. And let me jump on the screen. Sorry about that. So in the previous video, we were looking at one of these 5 visuals. Again, this is number 6 of the 16 video series. And in this particular visual here, we're looking at is the line chart. And in this line chart, we are looking at the 1 hour percent change and the 24-hour percent change. I don't like to use the same metrics in multiple visuals, but we'll see here a little later that, you know, when we don't have a whole lot of data, that's what we work with. But in this particular visual, we're looking at the line chart. If you've been in 5th and 6th grade math, you already know. You've been in 5th and 6th grade math, you already know. We've got line charts, column charts, bar charts. And in this particular visual, we got a line chart. So we have a horizontal axis. In 5th and 6th grade math, we know on the chart, we've got a horizontal axis. That's the x-axis. Vertical axis is the y-axis. And here we have the names on the horizontal axis and the values of the 1 hour and 24-hour percent changes on the y-axis. On the column chart, a column chart I like to say holds up a building or holds up a roof, and a bar chart can hold something up, because a bar can hold a glass or something like that. That's how I differentiate between what a bar and a column is. Now, if you rotate the bar 90 degrees, it's going to turn into a if you rotate the column 90 degrees, it's going to turn into a bar. If you rotate the bar 90 degrees, it's going to turn into a column. Therefore, we have a bar chart here and we have a column chart here. They're pretty much the same. They give pretty much the same type of information, except for one is a column going vertical, one is a bar going horizontal. A table visual is simply just a spreadsheet. It's a spreadsheet at the end of the day. If you are used to, let me get out of there. If you're used to seeing Excel spreadsheets, Google Sheets, it's just a spreadsheet. And basically, it's the table of information that we're working with. So basically, that's all that we have here when it comes to the table visual. So there's nothing spooky about Power BI. We have visualizations that we've been working with since at least the 5th and 6th grade, and maybe the 4th grade, depending on what school you went to in the 4th grade. Now, up top, again, we have the bar. We have the bar chart, and on the bar chart, again, we've got the names going up on the x-axis and going vertical and going horizontal. We are looking at the average 1 hour percent change. Now, I do not update this thing every hour. I will probably update it every 24 hours. And definitely when we get to the end and we really build out the actual report, because I want the guys that's utilizing Bitcoin and other types of cryptocurrencies to actually be able to use this report to analyze the data that they need in order to make sound financial decisions when they're getting ready to make cryptocurrency trades. But again, this is not that video for you. This video is just for you to understand that you're able to create a cryptocurrency report. It's going to be in your portfolio. Now, probably one of the most common visuals that we have is the pie chart. And in this particular pie chart, we don't have any names on the pie chart. What we have here is we have price tiers, basically tiers of information, tiers of cost of how much this particular each particular cryptocurrency costs. So we've got ranges. 1 cent to 10 cents, 10 cents to $5, $5 to $50, $1,000 to $60,000, $60,000 to 100,000. Basically, that's what we have, what we're looking at these different price tiers. So if I highlight a price tier here, this price tier is 1 cent to 10 cents, and we see we have 188 of those, which consist of 31.33% of the cryptos that we have in this particular data set. We look over here, we have another price tier which goes from 10 cents to $1. We have 176 of those that are within that price range, within the price range of 10 cents to $1, and it constitutes about 29.33% within the price range. If we come over and we find a smaller one, and let's say we pick this small green one here. The small green one is represents a range of $500 to $1,000. It's only a 7 that fit in within that range, and that's in the top 1.17% of all of the cryptos that we have on this report. Now, we don't have all the cryptos in the world on this report, or even in the crypto, what would be considered the crypto exchanges. We have probably like 600 cryptos that we are evaluating here. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to make our bar chart just a little bit smaller so we can have some room to build out and to add a funnel chart. Now, I'm going to click to the outside because, well, go just a little bit more. I'm going to click. So right now I have this pie chart highlighted. If I selected the funnel chart, it would make the pie chart go away, and then we would see the funnel chart representation. That's not what we want to do. We're going to click back on the pie chart. We're going to click on the white space. Then we are going to select the funnel chart again, and we will see that it's in grayscale, just like it was when we were looking at the other visuals that I was explaining on row number 4. When we bring values in, then we'll see that the funnel chart is going to bring color. The value that I'm going to bring in, I'm going to use, let's say I'm going to use, scroll too much. I'm going to use a name in the category, and then I am going to select the volume. Let's say we select volume as the value. That's too big because it doesn't give us a good representation of what the funnel chart should look like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to 24-hour percent change. In a 24-hour percent change, we should get a good funnel view. I'm going to come back over and I am going to filter. I'm going to filter this so it doesn't look so thick and not get a real good idea of what this really looks like and not be able to tell which cryptocurrencies we're talking about. So at the 24-hour percent change, I am going to say, hey, I want to see the names. I want to filter by the top 10, and I want to see it by the 24-hour percent change. I'm going to click apply, and now we get a better idea of what the funnel looks like. Now, again, down here at the bottom in the line chart, we show 1 hour percent change and 24-hour percent change on 2 different lines. Then we came over in the on the bar chart, and we actually looked at the 1 hour percent change again because it was a pretty good representation using 1 hour percent change here. Then we came over to the funnel chart and we saw that it was a pretty good representation of the 24-hour percent change here. So unlike what I typically say is don't use the same metrics the same metrics in multiple visuals. In this particular case, that's where we're at. I do think that I don't think it's too much because we do now we're able to break it out, and if you were someone that was evaluating which cryptocurrency, if you were analyzing and evaluating cryptocurrencies, you would be able to distinguish and determine what type of moves you wanted to make based on those visualization. So I don't think it's too much here. And it's not a whole lot of data when it comes to, it's not a whole lot of different types of data when it comes to stocks and when it comes to cryptocurrency. You just want to look at this thing 5 or 6 different ways. And a lot of people, like guys in the accounting and finance professions, they like to take an Excel spreadsheet and they'll pivot that thing and turn it around and turn it upside down. They'll look at that spreadsheet 1,000 different ways to evaluate what's going on within a company. So this is okay. This is okay. Now, I am not going to worry about trying to format all of these different visuals right now, because we're going to come back in video number 7 and we're going to write this thing a whole different way. Now, here's the deal. Again, what I like to say is this report is a report that you will be creating in Power of the BI Live. If you have not already gotten your ticket for Power of the BI Live, well, let me say it a different way. If you haven't already made your reservation, your hotel reservation for Power of the BI Live, I suggest that you go over to the Omni Hotel website right now that's in Dallas and make your reservations for Power of the BI Live. Now, you can always, I'm gonna say you can always, but you can cancel, within a reasonable amount of time. But again, what I would say is the FIFA World Cup is coming to Dallas and they're gonna be taking up a lot of rooms. And I do know right now they're taking a whole convention center. So if you're looking to, you can get other hotels if you want to, but we're gonna be in the Omni Hotel for 2 days. So if you wanna be right there in the place, I think that's probably where you wanna be. I don't get any kickbacks. I don't get any incentives. I don't get any type of financial benefit or rewards, anything like that for promoting the Omni Hotel. I just know that we're going to be doing this event in the Omni Hotel, and I want you to be there. Space is limited. If you go over to powerofthebi.com, you will see that there is an early bird special that's going on right now, and I suggest that you take advantage of the early bird special because it will end in mid-March. Now, for those of you that just jumped in, what we're talking about is Power of the BI Live, and this is going to be actually one of the reports that we're going to be using as part of your building, as part of your Power BI portfolio, so that you can go out there, you can get jobs, you can get contracts, part of your company, whatever the case may be, using Power BI. But this is going to actually be one of your reports. So if you've been following along with us and you got suggestions, hey, leave me a comment. It's beneficial. If you don't want to leave a comment to public view, you can shoot me a DM. Just shoot me a DM, and I'll be able to take that in consideration as well. If you have a question and you want to put it in a DM, I will answer your questions as well. But that is the deal. We are finished with the 6th video of the 16 video series for Power of the BI Live that's going to be in Dallas. I look forward to seeing you there. Once again, thank you for joining in, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.